Okay, this is part two. Part two. I got knocked off, you all. It is so horrible outside. So, um, please forgive me. So I'm not going to be long because the weather's hard. It may knock me off again, and I don't want to, be on here and get off and get on and get off and get on. So everybody that was on, thank you so much. And I'm going to attach both of these together so you both can get both of them. But try to hook up with people in relationships that have those blended families or have those blended similarities, so you can get some, different advice from, or someone that will be able to listen to you without so much judgment, and someone who's not going to put you down. Especially don't talk to nobody who's not in a blended family, because they really probably don't even understand what you could be going to the max. You understand what I'm going to? Everybody always can say what they're going to do until they're in that situation. So you always have to be careful who you share everything with. Always have to be careful who you decide you want to talk to a situation about, because it may not be so good after all. So I just say, just be cautious. And what I always told my wife I wanted to do, we're going to write a book. I'm telling you, we're going to share our story on my Randomly Speaking, and we're probably going to sit down and write a book together, because our story is gonna hit a lot of y'all like a ton of bricks. Possibly somebody may not be shocked, but I'm serious. Our story is gonna like bang a couple of y'all. But I'm just saying that it is a beautiful story, and I thank God for our story, and I thank God for everything we went through, and I thank God for the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows. And sometimes in order to get what you want, you got to just go through something. It's not going to always come easy. I always tell people, anything that you get so easy is not worth having if you're not fighting for something, because you're you're worth that. So, some things don't come easy, and if everything come easy to you in your life, and if any one of y'all out there can say, everything came easy for me, kudos to you. I give it to you. Mwah, God bless you. But a lot of times, it doesn't come easy. You got to work at it. You just can't go into a marriage. You just can't go into a relationship. You just can't blend your families without talking about it, without discussing it, without just finding out what it delights. And first, you got to get with the person and really like them before you start blending families. Because don't y'all realize, when you get with somebody off a whim, or you guys don't really take time to know the person that you're trying to to be engaged with, or be married with, or become blended with, and you wind up not liking them later, and y'all move in together, and you didn't know they did this, and you didn't know they did that, and y'all can't, work together, or y'all can't compromise, or y'all cannot, be loving towards each other, and y'all got to split up. You know what it's going to do for all those kids in that relationship who try to make it work because they want to see you happy, because really, kids just want to see their parents happy. And if you happy, they're going to go with it for as long as they can go with it until they get grown and move out. They got to deal with it. But you know what the damage you do to those children that's in that blended relationship, that's trying to be cohesive with you all, that's trying to make it work out. And all of a sudden, one day you come home and go, oh, we broke up. We're not together again. Get your stuff. Everybody moving out. Kids are crying all over the place. They don't want to leave each other because they done build the relationship. They done build the bond. And you just tear down the family. So I always tell people, be careful, especially when someone has children and you going in that relationship with these kids that live in the household, because it affects them. Whatever you go through as a parent, it also affects your child. Don't think because they hee ha ha, they happy. They go into their moment where they go into their room, or they go into the bathroom, they go into a closed area, they go into their girlfriend's house, and they talk about it. And if they don't talk about it, they sit quietly in silence and they cry about it. So make sure when you blend families and y'all come together and you say, I do, and we're going to be together forever, please, when you're doing this with the kids, make sure that y'all have this foundation. Y'all have a foundation. I'm not saying that 100% is always going to work, but make sure you have a plan if it doesn't work out. I always told my wife, boo, if you and I don't work out, I'm going to be right in the extra bedroom over there, because I'm not leaving my twins. And whoever you get and you want to bring up in here, think about it twice. You better take them to a hotel, because they're not going to come up here. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is the McCahan Page residence. So until I decide to leave when I want to leave, when my kids get grown, they say, all right, mommy, it's okay for you to go on and, do your life or whatever, then that's when I will move. Not because we got something going on. My wife laughs all the time, but she thinks I'm playing, but I'm not playing. But now the twins are 18, they're going off to college, they're doing things, and we still here, praise God. So I just always said that to her. Have a plan. And I'm being kind of jokey about it because I want y'all to know that it is serious though. But also I can laugh at it at times because I've been through that and I did that. And at the end of the day, we have to respect one another's decision on what we do decide. And if that person say, nah, that's not what I want, this is not where I'm at with you, even though you love them, you still got to love them enough to let them go. Love them enough to let them go. Not all blended families work. My wife and I was together in our relationship for over a year before I moved in, and we blended actually our families together in one household because she had her place and I had my place. And that's what we discussed. And I think because we had these two Cancerian strong spirit of being independent and not want to give up our security of having our own place or our independence, we decided not to just blend, all together just in case things didn't work out. We can just go our separate ways, because although, just because our kids didn't mesh, we can just have our relationship outside of our homes until they grow up and allow them not to be together because we still have responsibility over our kids. Don't think that people can get rid of their kids because they're so in love with you and their kids are unruly. You got to have them until they're at least 18, 19, 20 years old. So you in it for the long haul, especially when you get with somebody who got little people. They can't just get rid of them because you don't like them or because they causing some friction in your relationship or your marriage with your significant other. It's not going to work. Have those talks. Have those conversations. Know where y'all stand. Discuss money. Discuss property. Whatever y'all came in a relationship with, decide what y'all going to do with it. My wife and I had a whole house, whole furniture. A lot of furniture in the house. We had a whole 2 houses worth of furniture, and we had to decide what we keeping and what we getting rid of. And sometimes things can be so painful. We got a storage now that we pay for every month, and some of those things we haven't seen since I don't know what. But we don't want to get rid of our kids' baby stuff. That's the number one thing we're not going to get rid of. I still have VHS tapes in our storage of my children because they was babies and I had all their Christmases and birthdays and stuff on them. And I got it. I want to get them transferred over, but I keep saying I'm going to go get that big old tub and get it so I can go ahead and allow somebody or try to do it myself, put them on DVDs for me so I can burn the VHS or tear them up so, they would be untraceable. But I haven't done it yet. So we're storing a whole lot of stuff that we have and we have an attachment to, and that's okay. If y'all agree that y'all going to pay this storage and y'all going to keep y'all whatnot, so y'all attachments in that storage area or whatever, agree and do that. So, it's a lot of decision making, you all. It's a lot of decision making. Even if y'all planning on selling your houses that y'all have or moving out the apartments that you have and getting one apartment to stay in that y'all both choose and y'all come up with, that is your business. But you have to discuss it and you have to continue talking about it. You can't just discuss it one time and think that everything, we got it down pat, and don't discuss. Get it in writing. Because trust me, the other one is going to forget some things. And you got to play it back down and say, nah, we had this in writing, baby. We have a contract. You said that this. And this how we going to do this. Because through the years, somebody may forget. So I just want to encourage you all that blended families do work. But it takes work. You have to put the work in. And if you are willing to put the work in, by all means, it is worth it. It is worth having it. But you have to put the work in, and as you grow as a family and as you grow as a couple and as you grow as a married couple in that relationship, people change. People change. Are you willing to put up with those changes? You understand? That's going to be another episode we're going to talk about. I didn't marry you this way. So what happens when you marry one person and then all of a sudden 5 years later, 3 years later, even 2 years later, you wake up with somebody else laying next to you? What do? How do you begin to talk about it? What do you say to the significant other or the person that you wind up marrying? It's a lot that comes with blended family. People think it's just cute. Oh, y'all got a nice family. Oh, y'all got all those girls. Oh, y'all got only 2 boys. We have 10 kids. 8 girls, 2 boys, and 12 grandchildren. So, yes, it's a lot of them. and grandchildren along the way that we adopted. So we got like 13, 14 grandchildren. And it's okay because your children going to get with people who have children, and when they marry them or when they are together with each other, and you're going to love them just like you're going to love your grandchildren because they're no different. But you got to ask yourself, what are we going to deal with? How are we going to accept this? What are we going to do? Should we? Should we? You always got to consult with the person that you marry. You can't let all your family show up at the house and don't tell your significant other. And then all of a sudden, that person come home from work or come out the shower or come out the room. Basically, 12 people sitting in the living room. Oh, baby, I ain't tell you my mom and my dad was coming this weekend. And they brought a couple of my siblings. You always got to consult. You always got to have that conversation. Because that's going to draw a wedge between you and your relationship. So you just can't, you're not single anymore. You got to consider your children. What type of people you want around your children. Your significant other that you got would probably let everybody come in their house and everybody do everything. And you didn't know that in the beginning because y'all was just dating. But when you get married, it's a different story. Because then you see everything. You see all the ins and the outs. But when you're in a relationship, you're dating, you just going on a date, you go to your house, they go to their house, you may spend the night, a couple of nights at each other's house, and do all that. Then all of a sudden, you get blended, and all of a sudden you see all these things that you didn't see before because you just was dating, and they're home. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about. It's not easy. And you got to talk about who you going to bring around your children, who you not. Oh, no. Rabbi can't come live with us because Rabbi did X, Y, and Z. Oh, no, this one can't come stay with us because their parent don't want to deal with the situation because of their behaviors and different things like that. And then everybody want to move everybody into your house, into your happy home, and draw a wedge between you and your significant other. Or what about the children that didn't come with your marriage because these two decided to stay with daddy or mama, and these two decided to go with this mama, or no kids come with this mama, and all of a sudden you get with the mama, you got 2 kids that live with their daddy or their mama. You understand what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden things don't work out over there, then the kids got to come back home and live with their mother, and you're in that situation. And then they don't like you. Have you thought about that? How you going to deal with that? So you got to ask all those questions. Oh, you have any children? Do you have any children outside the marriage? Have you had any children? They got adopted or went to go live with somebody else. The possibility they're going to be living with you later. You got to ask those hard questions. Because those are questions that need to be asked. Because you need to know what you're walking into and what to look forward to later on down the line. And sometimes things just happen on a whim that you got to just try to get with and try to talk about and try to resolve things. And it could cause a little friction in your relationship or your marriage, but you guys got to decide, is it strong enough to pull you through? Is your love strong enough to help y'all get through these hurdles and these obstacles that happen and that comes up in that relationship? So I also encourage people to do marriage counseling. You understand? Even relationship counseling help. If you decided to get into a committed relationship, even if you're not planning on marrying that person, even if you're in a committed relationship, like y'all both gonna see each other only. Yes, that's what it's gonna be. You're not gonna date nobody else. I'm not gonna date nobody else. We totally riding together. You have to have that talk. What that looks like. You understand what that looks like? This person might have 4 or 5 exes that they still talk to, that still send them money, that still call them, that they still hang out together. And it may cause a problem in that relationship. You have to talk about those things. And a lot of people forget to talk about that in blended relationships or when they're trying to blend families. And the reason how I know, I've been there, I did that. And I'm still doing some things. And we're still talking about some things. It's not going to be perfect. But it's going to be okay if you're constantly communicating. Communication is key. Ask the kids. We used to have, I know my kids, if y'all watching, I know y'all remember this, we used to have family forum every Saturday. We used to have family forum in our blended house. And what that looks like is that we all come together. No TVs, no phones, no games, no anything. That's our Saturday to have family forum. And what we talk about is, hey, how everybody doing? And it gives everybody opportunity to speak. And the rules are, whatever you say in this forum, stays in this forum. However you express it, stays in this forum. Now, don't be cussing in the forum and you get out and you make me suck and cuss at me because you might just get a backhand. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're frustrated and if you said in school and you cussed out somebody in school and you said whatever, we give our kids the opportunity to say it. But after we leave out this forum, we say our prayer and we break our forum, let's be family. Let's be respectful. Let's be mindful that y'all got little sisters that's watching you and that y'all got parents who ain't going to accept some of that stuff that you say in school and do in school. So we talk about all those issues that they've been going through down through the week, and we try to allow the siblings to help them problem solve. If something went wrong, hey, how would you would have dealt with that? You know, ask your sister how she would have dealt with that. Or how we got, because most of the time they go to each other before they ever come to us. There's a lot of things that we know now as we have at Christmas and Thanksgiving and we all come together as a family that they done and got away with because they kept each other secret and they backed each other up and they let each other in when one was late and we chained the door and stuff like that. They'll tell you now what happened. But when they was young, ain't nobody want to say nothing because they protected each other, because they loved each other. They had their differences. They fought. They did all kind of stuff. But they loved each other. And still today, they could come together and be mad at each other. But no, don't let an outsider come in. Because they would band together like, I don't know what, they would bring down the house. The devil would tremble. And when all them girls get together. So don't think that because they argue around you and they fight and everything. But when they go and they out on their own and they with each other, they know that they are my brother's keeper. And they will take up with each other. They don't care what's going on. They could be arguing 1 minute. And soon somebody do something to one, they all come down on you. They build a relationship. They have a bond that we can't even break. Sometimes they trying to gang up on us. They band together trying to gang up on me and their mama. And call each other and talk about us behind their back. Don't think that we don't know. But they sisters, and that's what sisters do. And then you got the two brothers that got to hear it all because they are so whiny. They're so emotional. But they're sisters. So that's what our blended family look like. And that's what some of you out there probably and possibly had experienced on the way up, on the way raising your family, on the way doing what you do. I just wanted to share that with you. Blended families take a lot of work. And it can be done and it can happen and it can be cool. But you have to do it right and you got to continue talking. And this is an everyday process. This is an every minute process. This is an every second process. Every minute of the day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's a process. It's work. It's work. It's work. It's work. It's work. So you got to put the time in. You got to put the work in. And you got to do it. Things just don't happen by itself. You have to do it. So everybody, I just want to say that I appreciate you for coming on. I want to give some more love to Shay Forbes Wilson. Y'all guys shout her out. Y'all show her some love on her page. Y'all friend her. Y'all put her on your notifications because when she come on, she is fire in the morning or in the afternoon whenever she comes on for inspiration. So if she's a little late, trust me, she got you. So just go on and watch her. Go watch some of her old stuff. She is so motivational, and I'm telling you, I listen to her because she says some real stuff and it gets you saying like, whoa. You know, and she uplifts you, even though when you can't uplift yourself sometime and you looking for that pick me up. And you pray to God and you said, God, I need you to move. And then you hear something. That's God sending you your button. Your button. He sent you that button to press to get what you need. Because sometimes everybody think that God is going to drop from the ceiling and come and say, hey, this is me. This is God. Here I am. I'm coming to save you. He's dispatched his angels out everywhere for you. And to do for you when you need things to be done. And that's the God I serve, and I believe that. So I didn't come on here to preach to y'all tonight because that's who I am. But I come on here to say, be uplifted. We're about to go through another shutdown on this pandemic. And I need y'all to be ready. I need y'all to take a step back. Get some motivation speeches and little things going on YouTube. YouTube got a lot of meditation and motivational things that you can do. You guys take up yoga if you need. Start practicing yoga this weekend. I challenge y'all tomorrow. Try to do some deep breathing exercise and, look at motivational speakers that's on TV that are doing things to help motivate us, because we're going to need a lot of stuff during this pandemic season to help us not to fall by the wayside, to help us not to fall into a rut and become depressed and anxiety go through the roof. And sometimes, y'all, that kills us. When it kills your spirit, it begins to kill your body. So sometimes y'all got to tap into those people who are going to feed you, and y'all can feed each other. You're going to need a support system. And I always say sometimes things happen for a reason, you know, and it helps us to bring each other together as people. I said in my group the other day, you know, the Black Lives Movement, I'm all for it. God knows I'm all for it. But I seen a video that come across my Facebook feed, and my wife sent it to me. I saw it already, then my wife sent it to me and said, I want you to see this. How I seen our black brothers and sisters went to this young lady's house and beat her up and then drop kicked her baby, her toddler. You understand what I'm saying? And these are black and black crimes that's happening. So y'all want people to really take us serious when we do our Black Lives Matter. We got to treat black people with the utmost respect. We got to treat ourselves with the utmost respect so people can take us seriously. When is Black Lives going to matter to black people? We got to do better. And then when people see this, different people see this who are hating on us, they're like, they're going to kill each other before it's all over with. We ain't got to do it. I hear all the talks. I read everything. We got to come together. We got to come together, people. We got to come together. All of us. All of us. Should not be no separation between us. But you got to start with you. You have to start with you. Yes, Kim, you're right, sis. T.D. Jakes' motivational speeches are marvelous. And his daughter have some speeches as well. You can check out her too. Minister Reverend Roberts. She got some stuff too. So I just ask you all to just tap into something that's going to give you strength and it's going to motivate you to live every second, every moment, every minute. Because being in this pandemic and being closed in and have to be home is going to weigh on a lot of us, especially if we ain't used to being home. We got to be creative. The other day, if y'all see my Facebook feed, I played chops with my grandbabies because that's my thing. I love chops. And I played chops. I love to watch it. And I played chops with my grandbabies and they made pizza. And oh my God. And I had to taste it because I was a judge. And if you go back down my Facebook feed and you watch, my granddaughter was like, I said, you going to eat something? She said, I ain't eating it. You going to eat it. You the judge. So I was like, oh my God. It was just so funny. It was so beautiful. It was so uplifting. And I really enjoyed them so much, you know. And I love to do games and stuff like that because it helps me as well as a grandmother and getting older and being 51 this year. I just thank God to be able to see 51 and being able to see them. Young people give you life. You understand? It just makes you feel young and it makes you feel good when they can just teach you some things and show you some things. And trust me, my twins have taught me a lot and showed me a lot. So I'm just saying, keep young. Keep being uplifted or keep, getting that uplifting from someone or something. And to keep your joy. Keep your joy and keep your peace. And I ask you to intentionally do something to uplift somebody else along the way. Once you get your uplifting, once you get your ooh-ee, you give somebody else something to uplift them. Pass it on. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. Yo, this is my time. Thank you for joining and listening to me on Randomly Speaking. I thank you, and I love you all. And I will say a prayer for everybody and everybody's families. And if you need me to say a special prayer, and call out your family names in prayer, I'm going to be starting my prayer at least by 8:30. Just inbox me your family name, your family member name, and I will call them out. I will call their name out in my prayer. 51 strong, so great on you, minister. Thank you, baby. That's my girl, Mississippi Water Valley. That's Kim. I love her so much. Thank you so much. And again, if y'all need me to call somebody's name out in prayer as I pray tonight, please send it to my inbox and I will call your mama name out in prayer. And Shannon, I got you, Miss Streeter. I got her. I will call her name out in prayer as I always do. Anybody else have anybody they want me to call out in prayer or say a prayer for you, a special prayer for you, let me know and I will gladly do so. Gladly do so. And again, thank you so much. I love y'all. That's my time and I'm out. Make it beautiful, people.